Hi, Sergeant Beast Larson. Welcome, everybody. I'm just giving another second here for everybody. It's Friday, September 13th. I want to welcome everybody. And I want to talk really quick about should teachers and school staff be armed? And I want to explain a couple things and considerations in this. And I don't know, this is a yes or a no thing. Now, I'm retired police, former military. I've been on 2 SWAT teams. I've also worked in corrections as a sergeant in isolation units, isolation segregation. So, being at the prison, I was on the CERT team. I see my hat up there, which is the cell extraction team. We did a lot of extractions, handled problems in the prison. I was also assistant commander of the riot squad. We traveled to other prisons and did searches, handled situations, riots, kind of stuff. So that's my background. So, really quick, I want to talk. Today, looking in the news this morning, I see, bomb threats. There's a note on a school out west at an elementary school that due to a bomb threat, nobody's here. We've evacuated. Another school shooting in Maryland a couple days ago. Since this Atlanta thing has kicked off for 2 weeks, just nonstop. I believe 5 or 6 people arrested for bomb threats or threatening to shoot in Cincinnati area schools, Cincinnati, Ohio, Northern Kentucky. There's an incident in middle school. A student was taken into custody. When they're juvenile, it's called taken into custody. So here's the question: should they be armed? Post in the comments here. Let me know what you think. Yes or no? Should they be armed? Now, here's the first issue. Just because somebody gets a carry conceal permit, which I have, doesn't mean that's very basic training, very basic firearms training. It doesn't mean they're highly proficient. To handle an active shooter, somebody who's prepared to shoot multiple weapons and a lot of rounds, you can't just be subpar. You can't just barely pass the carry conceal class. You need to have more extensive firearms training. So this is my professional opinion. 29 years in uniform. If you're going to allow principals, superintendents, school people, if you're going to allow somebody to be armed, consider, are they former military or law enforcement? Somebody who has some extensive background and training in firearms and emergency response. Now, if you allow somebody to do this, they need to have, in my opinion, continual training with police in firearms training, situational awareness, how they come in, how the police come in and do the active shooter response, to be armed with special training. And welcome everybody. Welcome Brian. Welcome Timothy. For all of you that probably don't know, Timothy Amdahl and myself have written 2 books together: Officer Perception, Surviving Danger, and also Why People Kill. They're both on Amazon. So check those out. And we kind of explain, we talk about situations that would lead to this. But listen, let's get back. They need to have a background. Don't just pick, lottery. Don't be drawn out of a hat like you do who's going to do decorations and who's going to do marketing for the prom. Don't do that. They need a background. They need firearms training, like I explained. They need a continual training quarterly. They should fire at least twice a year on a police standard type firing course, not a basic, can you put in 10 rounds or 15 rounds from 7 feet away? That doesn't work. They also need to show which firearms they would be carrying and show proficiency. Can they take it apart? Can they fix it? Can they, get the stovepipe out, get the jam out? Can they handle this? Can they handle the reloading? They need to be highly proficient with this weapon. This needs to be a partnership with superintendents, principals, however your state, your district area goes. So, background, training, continual training with law enforcement, specifically for this. They can be like the SWAT medics where they go out and do a little bit of training with the SWAT guys A little bit, I said, not a lot. Okay. So if you establish all of that and they continue this training and they meet these qualifications, and the school, you're going to have to allow the training, or have to get substitute teacher for the day and get them over to the range during the week. Now, here's some drawbacks, and that's just my opinion on the thumbs up. Now, the thumbs down is teachers. They wear, how do they dress? This is a polo shirt. The shirt's untucked. You're going to have a bulge right here, and YouTube Live doesn't like us to have real weapons and stuff on here. I don't want to get my page canceled. But if you got a firearm under a shirt and they see the bulge, they're going to notice this. You don't want them to open carry, because then they're advertising a weapon. Advertising is not good. So polo shirts, you got a dress shirt, they're tucked in, they're not tucked in. Females, what kind of shirt, what kind of blouse you're going to wear, how are you going to do this? Can't be in your purse, it can't be laid down. Ankle holsters, possibly you have to have a really small gun. You're dealing with a really small, handgun, probably semi-automatic, limited bullets. You can't just carry bullets on the other ankle. People are going to see this. Students are going to see this. Parents are going to see this. So the first drawback of arming teachers and school staff is visibility of a weapon, which presents a target. So they're teaching in a class 20 plus. You're dealing with a situation of, what if somebody gets mad and 10 of them want to go and jump that teacher and they take the firearm? The teacher's not just going to just pull the gun out, and return fire because they're trying to attack in a class. Just quickly, some of the comments that are making like this. I hope y'all never get arrested, because when you talk and you think and you act like this, you're going to get beat within 10 minutes of arriving in jail or prison with this kind of attitude. Just telling you from my experience working in corrections. So, rude comments, they get you nowhere. Rude comments get your situational awareness to be unaware. You get hurt, your children, your family gets hurt, they get taken. That's the problem. So a serious question here. Nobody's answered this question. Should teachers be armed? Staff be armed? Or just a principal be armed? I'm waiting. Somebody give me a good answer. Besides Tim, he did say some, yes. But this is what you're looking at. This is what you're looking at. If they don't meet the criteria, if they don't have continual training, if they're not prepared, I'll send you a penny. Thank you. I'll take that penny. And go ahead, everybody subscribe, look on my page, see who I am. I do have the membership. You can join. You can get exclusive videos, exclusive pictures, information, just for the members only. And you can do super chats. Armed society is a polite society. Maybe you mean police society. That's a good point. At what extent do you go to arm people in the school environment, in the educational environment, and how many? I'm retired police, so I have a LEOSA card I carry when I go to school, when I'm inside school. And I have legal right under the Patriot Act, under federal authority, to do that. So the principals here in the state that I'm in, they can't say no. I don't tell them, I don't show them, but I'm armed. Here's another thing. You've got a teacher, staff member that's armed. Somebody shows up, situation outside at the sidewalk. It's looking to go bad when somebody's there. A student, just like what happened in Atlanta, he knocked on a door. Down in Georgia 2 weeks ago, they didn't want to open a door, but they saw him there with a weapon. No, I mean polite. People are more mindful if everyone is armed. Okay, polite. I gotcha. Good point. Thank you for that. Something to think about, folks. If your kids go to school, think about your teachers, your principal, the staff that work there. Do you really trust them, or do you want the school resource officer? Now, the last point to make in this video, I don't want it to be long. It was back, I believe, when Bush Sr. was president, but it's been a long time ago, maybe back late 90s, 2000 time, is when all this federal grant money came out after a couple big school shootings. May have been right after Columbine situation. And our on the sheriff's department that I worked for, there was grant money, so it paid, like, for a couple years full salary, had one officer in each school. And I live in a county that has probably 9 or 10 high schools, 12, 13 middle schools, and 20 elementary schools. And the county I live in, designated staff and they respond to code words to catch a shooter off guard. Yes, code words. Thank you for that, Tim. So the money was there, and then into 5 years, it was prorated in salary, so the salaries went down, and a lot of schools couldn't afford it on a regular, county or city or state budget, and then they faded off. The state I'm in the big city areas, you're going to see a lot more, but there's schools that need to have 2 or 3 officers, not just one. They're big enough for that. So leave your comments. Let people know. Let me know. Should they be armed? Thanks for joining. Don't forget to subscribe. And all those that with those comments and those that want me to oil up and everything, subscribe, because I teach self-defense and correction topics. You'll enjoy all that prison talk that I talk about. No oiling up today. Police need 4-year degree. Too much ignorance like this guy. No, I do have college. I do have 29 years of experience. So hit the subscribe, hit the like. Thank you for these wonderful comments. Thanks for joining, everybody. Timothy, always great to hear from you. Have a great day there out west. Be safe and be dry. See y'all soon. Sergeant Beast Larson, I'm out.